That was a good sign. Man, I love Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our graduates.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing while the Color Guard of Richfield, Utah National Guard Unit presents the flags of the United States of America and the great state of Utah. The Snow College Woodwind Quintet will then perform the national anthem, and the Color Guard will post the colors. Color Guard. The audience may be seated. Thank you, Color Guard. On behalf of the Snow College Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, alumni, we warmly welcome you to these commencement exercises. Today is both a time for celebration and it's a time for reflection. We commend you and celebrate you, the graduating class of 2021. We even have some of the class of 2020, since last year they didn't get a chance to have a commencement because of the pandemic. With this class of graduates, Snow College is now 133 years old in its mission of educating productive, well-rounded citizens and leaders. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your support of class of 2021. My name is Brad Cook, and it is my distinct honor and privilege to serve as the president of Snow College. Nearly 35 years ago, I started my journey here, too. And as a college student, I can promise you that Snow College, there's no place like it. In fact, I grew up in the shadow of Cove Mountain. I'm a product of Sevier County. My father was the principal at South Sevier High School. And until I was about 12, loved my childhood here in this valley. So I have a deep and abiding love for this community. And as president, I really look forward to the continued growth and the development of the Richfield campus so that we can better serve you and better serve our communities here in Central Utah. So while there is much that's been changed in 35 years at Snow College, there really is still a lot that has not, especially in terms of Snow College's nurturing spirit that suggests personal attention, high touch, and high quality. So after my time at Snow College, and because of Snow College, doors opened for me, as they will you. And I was given additional opportunities to further my education, and now it's my distinct privilege to have now returned to my alma mater in this capacity. My wife, Jen, joins me in personally welcoming all of you to this beautiful campus here in Richfield. Now, I especially want to thank Dr. Madeline Johnson and the Snow College Woodwind Quintet for their music. They are truly exceptional, and we thank them for sharing their talents on this very special occasion. Thank you. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, quote, "Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year." Now, this has been a historic year, right? One never to be forgotten. COVID-19 impacted millions of us across this country. We've seen political unrest like we haven't seen before, and yet, here you are, here we are, and today is the best of days. Everyone has difficult years. We all do. But a lot of times, the difficult years end up being some of the very best of our years if you survive them. And graduates, you have not only survived, but you really have thrived in a very challenging year. Now, as educators, we know that the most of our learning takes place when we stop, pause, and reflect. Reflection is often where transformation and education takes place. And so, in a second, I'd like to pause for 20 seconds or so and have you reflect on a couple of things with me. What has the Snow College experience meant to you? What lessons have you learned? What personal growth have you seen in yourself since the first day you put foot on campus? What are those things that you better appreciate and recognize as blessings in your life? So let's take 20 seconds, just 20 seconds, for a moment of silence to let this day sink in as to your tremendous achievement and likely personal transformation. Thank you. You know, as I've reflected, one of the humble realizations that I have are the freedoms that we enjoy in this country. And will all those in the audience who have served in our country's armed forces please rise and receive our appreciation for your service? Thank you. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce people that are seated behind me here on the platform. So as I read their name, will they please kindly stand and remain standing? And please, everybody hold their applause until everyone has been introduced. So our distinguished guests today are Mr. Alan Hall and Dr. Brent Thorne. Please rise. Mr. Hall is also a member of the State Board of Higher Education. My boss, so let's try to be respectable, okay? All right. We also have Kaylee O'Donnell, a 2021 honor graduate and our student speaker for the day. Also joining us in representing the State Board of Higher Education, in addition to Board Member Hall, is State Board Member Mike Angus. Next, Trustee Leslie Kiesel, the chair of the Snow College Board of Trustees. Also, Trustee Rick Robinson, the vice chair of the board. And the following members of the Board of Trustees: Trustee Irma May Kay, Trustee Kay Christensen, and Trustee Randy Cox, as well as Trustee David Christensen. We are also pleased to introduce Senator Darren Owens, member of the Utah State Senate, representing District 24 and serves as the Economic Development Director at Snow College. Representative Carl Albrecht, member of the Utah House of Representatives, representing District 70, and Representative Steve Lund, member of the Utah House of Representatives, representing District 58. Mr. Garth Ogden, Sevier County Commissioner Chair, and Mr. Scott Johnson and Ralph Brown, also Sevier County Commissioners. Mr. David Ogden, Mayor of Richfield City, and our academic deans, Dr. David Allred, Humanities, Dr. Michael Huff, Fine Arts, Communication, and New Media, LaFawn Barnhurst, Business and Applied Technologies, and Dr. Kevin Sorensen, Natural Sciences and Mathematics. And finally, members of the administration and others who are on the platform, will you please stand? We are honored to have these distinguished guests and students with us. Thank you very much. You may sit down. And now, would all members of our faculty and staff, current or retired, please stand. Now, these are the people that are associated with the college who have most helped our students achieve their goal of graduation today. And I extend my personal and deep appreciation for their work. This year especially, they have cooperated with new rules to stay healthy. They've been selfless as they've sacrificed things that may want to do to benefit others, and have shown courage. They have adapted their teaching modalities to accommodate quarantines and sickness and adjusted normal workflows to help students have a real college experience. By the way, Snow College is the only institution in this state, and possibly in the entire country, that can say this, that we offered up to 90% of our classes face-to-face this year. And that could not have happened without these incredible employees and colleagues. I am privileged to be able to work with you, and please join me, would you, crowd, in offering our sincere thank you. You may sit. Thank you. I would like to note that the work of our faculty and our staff and our students has not gone unnoticed nationally. Indeed, you may know this, but you might not, that Snow College continues to be recognized as one of the distinctive colleges in this country, and was recognized recently by the Chronicle of Higher Education as the country's premier, the Chronicle of Higher Education is the country's premier higher education publication, and selected Snow College as the #1 institution in its class for student success. There is no better place in this country in helping students succeed as measured by graduation rates and successful transfer rates. This is an incredible accomplishment, and it is a testament of the committed, caring community upon which Snow College is built. Another recognition deserves note. Each year, the state of Utah selects what's called the Best of State, winners in a variety of categories. And the 2021 winners have been announced, and Snow College was awarded 4 Best of States, 4 gold medals. The first is Stacy McKiff, was recognized as the best higher education administrator in the state this year. Stacy, congratulations. Is Stacy, please stand so we can embarrass you. Thank you. Also, Mr. Jay Olson, is Jay with us? Was recognized as the best college professor in this state this year. Mrs. Barbara Delane, as Utah's best education advisor of the year. I don't know if Barbara's here, but definitely worth it. Is she here? Nice. And additionally, the Snow College received the gold medal for the best curriculum development in the state for the Learn and Work program the college designed to provide free training to members of the community who may have lost work during COVID-19. And so in a year when there has been so much negativity, we have risen with 4 gold medals, and it truly has been remarkable. You may also know that Snow College was ranked the safest campus in all of Utah by the U.S. Department of Education, and we are very, very proud of that fact. And we could go on with a lot of sort of accolades for the college, but next will our alumni stand. Alumni? Alumni, we welcome you home and invite you to continue to expand our Badger family. Your referral of future students is one of the best ways that you can help us. We are proud of the many incredible things that Badgers are doing throughout the world. Today and tomorrow, there are 1,200 graduates that are going to join the alumni ranks. And to you, class of 2021, we hope you too will continue to share your Snow College pride with others. Thank you. The students participating in our commencement exercises today, this weekend, represent some of the best of the class of 2021. And so let me introduce more fully Kaylee O'Donnell. Kaylee grew up in Lehigh and is the daughter of Mark and Lisa O'Donnell. She and her husband, Moroni Shumway, will continue their education at Dixie State. Kaylee will be graduating with a 4.0 GPA, and you can read more about Kaylee from her biography on page 4 in your program. So it's now my pleasure to invite Kaylee to the microphone. Kaylee.
Hello, Badgers and family and faculty. I really feel as though this is like one of my last finals before I get to graduate, so you guys get to enjoy this experience of going through this 5-minute crash course professional public speaking kind of thing that I'm doing here. And I've thought of every possible thing that could go wrong, and if I pass out, just pick me up and I'll start back up. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to take my mask off. Okay, I can't believe that we made it. Through all the studying, the testing, and the mask wearing, we're about to move on to bigger and greater things, whether it be continuing on our educational journeys or jumping into an occupation. We have been given the resources and knowledge to move on with our lives, and I would like to thank all the professors and the faculty members that have helped us get to where we are today. I have thought about what I want to leave with you guys today, and I've thought of 3 things that I've learned through the 2 years of being on this campus. And I think that each of us need to be reminded of this and be able to take these things along with us wherever our future may take us. The first thing is that college has given us the ability to not define our identity, but to create a new one. And if you feel as though you weren't able to do this while you're here at Snow College, you now have the option to reinvent yourself wherever you go from this point forward. I learned in my communication class, shout out to John Van Orman, that if you want to be known for something new, you want to fake it until you become it. If you would have told me on the first day that I was on this campus I was going to be speaking today, I probably would have dropped out right on that first day. It's taken a lot of growing and a lot of confidence building and challenging myself to get to where I am today, and I still have a long ways to go. Second is take all the opportunities you can. Get involved and force yourself to do something out of your comfort zone. Become friends with the person sitting 6 feet away from you. Try to have that 30 seconds of confidence to create those new relationships. If you don't understand what that 30 seconds of confidence is, it means to give yourself 30 seconds. It's a 30-second window of time to push yourself past that awkwardness. Go and become friends with that person. It doesn't matter if you fail, because during all of this, you got to remember that failure shouldn't be feared because it brings in new opportunities. Throughout the time of failure, it is when you are given the opportunity to rethink and revise where you want to go. It can lead us to a better and brighter path. This leads to my third lesson. Do not be afraid to change your plans. If something isn't working, there is always another way. When I first got here in the fall of 2019, my plans were fixed on getting into the nursing program and graduating with an RN. As you can see today, that is not where I am. I decided that the nursing program wasn't for me, and all of you nursing students out there, man, I respect all of you. I was in there for 3 weeks, and I dropped out on the last day, and it was because of the relationships that I had made. I was able to start classes 3 weeks into the semester and continue it to get my Associates of Science today. And I'd like to shout out Heidi Johnson and Michelle Brown, and also my mom for helping me with that. Even though the transition was hard and the decision was difficult to make, it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself and my educational path. I'm so proud of everyone, each and every one of you here, for completing your degree and your certification, and I think we as students and faculty did a fantastic job during the strangest couple of years with all of this COVID that has ever been known to man, and I'm proud to be a Snow College Richfield student. Let's go Badgers.
Thank you, Kaylee. Congratulations for all of your accomplishments, and thank you for your remark. We're very proud of you, Kaylee. Now, it's my honor and pleasure to recognize Dr. Brent Thorne. Brent, can you join me at the podium, please? As we confer this special recognition, I invite you to read his biography on page 5 of the program. As a longtime and truly devoted supporter of Snow College, Dr. Thorne has selflessly dedicated an immense amount of time and energy and personal funds towards his passion for advocating higher education. Dr. Thorne devoted 42 years of teaching and administration in public education, with the last 25 years as the Sevier School Superintendent, the school district superintendent. He and his wife, Janice, served a mission on the island of Tarawa in the Pacific Island nation, Kiribati, as an adjunct professor for BYU, Hawaii. In addition to many contributions and continuing his long tradition of serving others, Brent has been instrumental in creating multiple newly endowed scholarships for the Richfield campus, including one in conjunction with Rotary International for Native American students. Dr. Thorne, on behalf of the Snow College Board of Trustees, administration, faculty, staff, and students, we hereby extend a sincere expression of appreciation, respect, and commendation, and wish you the best in your future endeavors. Chair Kiesel, will you join me in helping presenting this award? Now, we'll now be pleased to hear a special musical presentation by the Snow College Woodwind Quintet, with Jennifer Holbrook playing the flute, Colby Stevens on the oboe, Alec Seiva on the clarinet, Colin Moore playing the bassoon, and Joey Tolan playing the horn. For their musical selection, they will play Quintette Allegra con Moto by Paul Taffanel. These music students represent the best of the best. Professor Johnson. Thank you. It is my distinct honor and privilege now to introduce Board Member Alan E. Hall, who will deliver this year's commencement address. Alan Hall is an award-winning entrepreneur, venture capitalist, philanthropist, author, speaker, and a well-known advocate for public education. Mr. Hall is the founder of MarketStar Corporation, a global outsourced marketing and sales company. He is also the co-founder of Mercado Partners, a top-performing growth equity venture capital fund. Alan is the past chairman of the Utah Technology Council, the past chairman of Weber State University's Board of Trustees, and the Ogden-Weber Chamber of Commerce. He is the chairman of the Ogden Pioneer Days and vice chair of the Ogden Union Station Museum. He currently serves as a board member of the Utah Board of Higher Education, which oversees the 16 colleges and universities in this state. He's been assigned to Snow College's Resource and Review team, where he advocates for Snow College for our institutional needs. Alan has been an inspiration and a supporter of Snow College's entrepreneurial spirit. Indeed, Mr. Hall has been so incredibly supportive of Snow College, and he has powerfully shaped its current trajectory. He's been a cheerleader and an advocate for Snow College's strategic plan, our innovation and innovative endeavors, and believes in the potential of Snow College in advancing a vibrant and economically robust Central Utah. He is a thought leader in this state and nationally, and highly respected by all that know him. It really is an honor to hear from him today. He and his wife, Jean, are the chairman and president of the Alan and Jean Hall Foundation. Thank you, Alan, for being such a strong advocate for students and Snow College. Board member Alan Hall.
Good morning, graduates. Welcome to your graduation ceremony. I'm so excited to be here with you today on this very special occasion in your life. We all know that you've worked very diligently to receive your degrees, and it's our special pleasure today to honor you. And I join with your parents, your family members, the entire Snow College administration, faculty, and staff as we salute you on this major accomplishment. I'm pleased and honored to speak to you today on this beautiful occasion, and I'm delighted that President Cook and the college's trustees have invited me to be here to address you. Graduates, President Cook is a remarkable executive. He, his leadership team, and a first-class faculty have been laser-focused on helping you reach your personal academic goals. You should know they have dedicated all their time, talents, and energy to make sure you succeeded. Would you please give them a round of applause for what they've done for you? You have all walked across a magnificent campus and sat in multiple classrooms located in buildings both historic and new. You've made many new friends. You've attended numerous social events, cultural performances, and ball games. Each experience has enriched your life and created fond memories that will last a lifetime. Graduates, Snow has been good to you. As alumni of this wonderful institution, please be good to Snow in every way that you can. I wish, as I begin to give you specific remarks, that this wouldn't be a monologue. I wish it were such that I could sit and visit with each of you individually and learn about your lives, as I am now going to share a little bit about mine. So I wish to tell you about an amazing adventure that my wife, Jeannie, and I experienced in our first year after we graduated from college. It happened 52 years ago, and the lessons we learned from it changed our lives forever. Please listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. In 1969, Jeannie and I graduated from Weber State with bachelor's degrees in psychology. We were young, ambitious, and ready to take on the world. We were excited to begin our new journey together and believed we could overcome any obstacles, conquer any foes, and scale any tall mountain. We were fearless, believed in ourselves and in one another. We were, I'm sorry to tell you, penniless. We had no money whatsoever, we had no jobs, and we had no solid plans for the future. As we were starting our new lives, this was a time of great national unrest. not much different from today's problems. The civil rights movement had dominated the news throughout our college days and continued with campus riots, violence, and protests. The wounds of the assassinations of President Kennedy, his younger brother, Senator Robert Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were still very fresh on our minds. Sadly, most of our world was dominated by anger, resentment, and upheaval. We were witnesses of an epic battle between good and evil, and we wondered if humanity would survive. Adding to the unrest was the Vietnam War, which was raging, escalating, and would go on for 6 more very long years. The nightly news reported daily how many U.S. servicemen and women had died in combat. The number was alarming, and I knew I would be called at any moment to serve in the military. I was willing to go if the call came. However, being creative, I went to my local draft board and asked if Jeannie and I could serve our country in a peaceful way before going to Vietnam. Jeannie and I believed that somehow we could, in a very small personal way, contribute to world peace. To do so, I told the draft board we would enlist in the United States Peace Corps and help the citizens of a third world country with their social and economic difficulties. To my great surprise, the draft board gave me permission to join the Peace Corps on one condition: that I would return after 1 year of service and report to the Army's boot camp. Suddenly, we knew our future, at least in this short term. With a sigh of relief, Jeannie and I married on June 11, 1969, and prepared to begin our lives as Portuguese-speaking Peace Corps volunteers assigned to Bahia, Brazil. After 3 months of language training and cultural training in the United States and Brazil, our wild adventure began. We were assigned to live and work in a small jungle town called Itajuípe. It had a population of a few thousand residents who were mestizos, Africans, and Lebanese. It was a very divided city. Most were laborers who lived on the other side of the tracks. A few were wealthy landowners who had large homes and drove expensive cars. Even one of them drove a Mercedes in the jungle. The people of Itajuípe were handsome and very beautiful people with lovely brown complexions, striking dark eyes, and very black hair. As we spoke to them in our special brand of Portuguese, they would smile and kindly correct our mistakes. As we became better acquainted with these wonderful people, we grew to admire and love them all. The city's economy was based entirely on the production of cacao or chocolate. Large plantations grew and harvested the delicious crop that was shipped to confectioners around the world. The air we breathed smelled like a cup of hot chocolate. Surrounding the town was a lush and very humid jungle full of tropical flora and fauna. The forest beckoned us, but we never felt safe stepping inside. I was sure there would be dangerous creatures waiting to devour us. In fact, there were menacing animals everywhere. Besides wildcats such as jaguars, the jungle was home to more than 700 types of snakes. Anacondas or boas were the largest of the reptiles. On average, they are over 15 feet long and weigh more than 150 pounds. The smaller snakes weren't all dangerous, but several were very poisonous. One summer morning, early, Jeannie and I arose before dawn to catch a bus to Itabuna, Brazil, to buy a few canned goods. It was a larger town with several modern grocery stores where we could buy these fresh vegetables and fruits. Sleepy-eyed, we boarded the bus for the 30-mile trip. It was a bit cold outside, and a dark mist hid the long road ahead of us. As we dozed, we were awakened by a rough, bouncy ride. It seemed to us that the bus was hitting some very large potholes on the asphalt highway. Startled, I turned and asked a passenger next to me what was happening. In Portuguese, I said, "O que está acontecendo?" His response in Portuguese back to me was, "Há cobras na estrada." There are snakes on the road. In my mind's eye, I could see a lot of these really big fellows slithering across the dark highway. Every day was extremely hot and rainy. We started the morning in dry clothes, and by noon they were soaked. I generally wore jeans, a t-shirt, and gym shoes. Jeannie preferred light dresses and sandals. She washed our clothes in a large metal basin and hung them out to dry on a clothesline in our enclosed backyard. There were two types of roads in Itajuipe. A few were cobblestone, but most were clay, which turned into sloppy mud after a rainstorm. We roamed these pathways daily as we met with people from every walk of life. Our tiny 500 square foot pink colored home, like most of the houses in town, was made of adobe brick. There was one window without glass at the front of the house. It had wooden shutters that we closed at night and during the rain. Our interior floor was cement painted red. We cleaned it often with a bucket of soapy water and a broom. At night, in the dark, lying in bed, we noticed that the floor moved. As I flipped on the light, I would see huge cockroaches from wall to wall. The roof was covered with red tile shingles, and unfortunately they were not well arranged, so lying in bed, I could look up and see gaps and open spaces. Speaking of our bed, it was made by a local carpenter who made it to fit our long legs. The mattress was mainly straw with a thin fabric covering. It hosted numerous skin-eating fleas. We effectively repelled these little nasty insects by rubbing wood alcohol all over our bodies just before we went to bed. To protect us from spiders and bats and other flying creatures, a large mosquito net covered our bed. We showered in cold water. It came from a tank on the roof that collected rainwater. Jeannie would pour boiling water down the drain in the shower before we showered to discourage the rats from coming up the pipe and joining us. She also placed a large rock on the drain opening to keep the rodents from entering the house. We had a serviceable toilet, a small gas stove, a half-size refrigerator, a wooden table, plus 2 old stools. And we shared an aluminum patio chair that Jeannie had given to me for our very first Christmas. My only present for her was a pair of rubber flip-flops. For entertainment, we read novels, listened to music on the BBC radio station from London, and paid a few cruzeros to watch Italian cowboy movies at a dilapidated theater. Jeannie taught English to a handful of students who attended a nearby school. There were 2 religious organizations in the city. The community either attended a Catholic church or participated in candomblé, the practice of voodoo. In some cases, the people mixed the 2 together. Jeannie and I are LDS, and there was no unit of the church in all of Bahia at the time. So on Sunday, we read together the scriptures, the book Jesus the Christ by Talmage, and talked about gospel principles. We did on 2 occasions travel to Rio de Janeiro, where we attended a sacrament meeting. There were a few stores on Main Street that sold household goods, but there were no grocery stores in Itajuipe. All our food came from the once-a-week open-air market that suddenly appeared every Friday in the town square. The women of the village would carefully select the best fruits and vegetables that had been brought to market by the farmers and ranchers. Jeannie, with the help of a young native teenager, did her best to buy enough food that would last us for an entire week. She learned that the beef or pork carcasses with the most flies on them would make the best meal. In some ways, we were as poor as the people around us. The U.S. government paid us both 11 cents an hour. So if you think about it, we were making, each of us, about $5 a day. Our specific assignment was to teach the people leadership skills. We both had some knowledge and experience in the subject from our time at college and at work. We spent our days meeting with every soul in town, always looking for an informal community leader who we could mentor. As we spoke to the townspeople, we noted there were 2 very large community problems that needed innovative solutions. One was the need for improved sanitation, or more specifically, a better way to dispose of human waste. At the time, said material was placed in a bucket and then thrown into an open ditch that ran in front of the homes the length of the street. We often saw children playing in or near these open, disease-infested sewers. A day wouldn't go by when we wouldn't see dead infants and toddlers being carried in tiny coffins that passed by our house on the way to the cemetery. Sadly, many newborns from the slums of Itajuipe did not live to celebrate their first birthdays. The other great need was for electricity to light and power homes on the poor side of town. Most humble dwellings used kerosene lamps to dismiss the darkness. These impoverished families wanted access to the same electric power grid that the wealthy neighbors had. In time, Jeannie and I found and mentored an admired, soft-spoken fellow who was a hunter of jungle snakeskins and exotic animal pelts. He was the perfect advocate to rally the people to diplomatically encourage the local government to fix their major problems. Day by day, in an impoverished town, Jeannie and I began to recognize the treasures that we had taken for granted while living in Utah. Our gratitude increased daily as we remembered the multiple resources and opportunities we had enjoyed back home. It didn't take us long to calculate that we, along with most Americans, are the wealthiest people on this planet. And it was no wonder to us that they saw us, the people of our village, as kings and queens with every creature comfort at our disposal. So it's no wonder that they too want to live in America, a land of prosperity and abundance. Over time, we adjusted to our new life and began to have very tender feelings for the people of Itajuipe. By June of 1970, our time in the Peace Corps had been completed, but I knew I would not be going to Vietnam. I learned that based upon a national lottery, a number being so high that I would never be called up to military service. Based upon that, Jeannie and I then enrolled at BYU. I received a master's in business, and Jeannie received a master's in psychology. I want to note that Jeannie and I have, over the course of our lives, often faced an unknown future. Even now, we're wondering what our next steps will be. But each time, we have sought to do what was best for us. I think there are a number of things that we learned that I would share with you today that might help you in your life as you continue to move forward. We certainly learned under this most uncommon situation how to learn to love one another, develop maturity, knowledge, and our character. And with all of our hearts, we tried to serve these good people of Brazil. We had, however, been severely tested in the process. We had survived the snakes, the cockroaches, the rats, the poor food, the humidity, and unimaginable living conditions. That experience, however, we learned how to step out of our comfort zones, to overcome every obstacle, to not be afraid, and to take calculated risks. We will be forever grateful for a unique experience and an adventure second to none that made us who we are today. In sum, our incredible Peace Corps adventure did indeed change our lives forever. At this point in time, I've got some slides I want to quickly show you as I wrap up my presentation. If you'll please proceed with the slides. We looked differently back then, didn't we? I guess all those snakes and fleas turned us into old people, is what I'm guessing. Thank you. So graduates, as we leave this ceremony today, our nation is once again rocked with violence, racial and social unrest, wars, poverty, economic uncertainty, and of course a killing virus. But keep in mind, we've seen all of this before, and we've survived and prospered, and we will all do it again. We will all survive again. But you, my friends, will also be tested throughout your lives. Adversity is part of our existence. So be flexible and ready to learn new lessons under any circumstances. I have no doubt you will encounter gnarly snakes on your road from time to time. There will be ugly rats that come after your guarded cheese and annoying fleas that will bite your tasty legs. But don't worry about it. Always press on with courage and determination to reach your loftiest goals. Be grateful for your blessings along the way and always be helpful to those in need. In closing, I invite you to leave here with earth-shaking optimism and high hopes for yourself and for humanity. I'm confident that you can make this world a better place. So, my friends, onward. Let your next great adventure begin today. Thank you very much, and go Badgers.
After a story like that, is Jean here? I've got to see a survivor. There she is right there. Thank you, Jean. Thank you for sharing Alan with us. Alan, thank you so much. Vice Chair Robinson, do you mind helping me present our recognition for Board Member Hall? Thank you for those words. Thanks for your service.
Thank you, President.
Appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're getting close, graduates. So before Provost Jenkins officially presents the class of 2021, please let me say a word about our offerings and give a brief snapshot of these graduating students. There are a combined total of 1,205 degrees to be awarded this year from the Richfield and Ephraim campuses. The majors that students have most declared, other than general studies, include nursing, business, and music. The average age is 22 years old, and get this, the oldest graduate today is 64 years old. One of our greatest hopes, and really the purpose as educators at Snow College, are to find ways in which we can provide an education to more and more students. And Snow College is very committed to being open in terms of its access, but it is the least expensive education opportunity in this state, and we are committed to making that so. In fact, we've launched 2 new programs that I want to bring your attention to that will even provide more opportunities for more students, and perhaps even some in our audience. The first is what we're calling Take 14 Credits on Us. Now, with the stimulus funds from the government, Snow College has decided to channel those resources towards students. So if you were to take 6 credits, we will cover up to 14 credits for free after that. And I'm looking at these students going, oh, great, thanks, you're doing it now. But I want you, those, if there was ever a time that you wanted to go to college or come back to college, now is the time starting this fall and spring. Complete that degree. Get that degree. Another program that you'll start to see more and more here, especially centered here at the Richfield campus, in addition to our general education and our transfer education, we are expanding and deepening our technical and vocational set of offerings. This is really, really important. And those offerings, those certificates, are at a much more reduced price so that we can have more and more of our students get certificates that are industry related and can lead to direct employment. So keep your eyes peeled. Look for opportunities where there's no better time to get a Snow College education than now. So Snow College is pleased to serve our region, which really includes 6 counties in the central part of the state: Sevier, Sanpete, Juab, Paiute, Millard, and Wayne counties, and really the entire state of Utah. So in addition to the students from these particular counties, we have 23 other counties represented in the state of Utah, representing this year graduating class, from 22 U.S. states and 14 different nations. As students come up, you'll see some of them wearing color cords. Some of the colored cords correspond to a GPA of at least 3.5 or higher, but the description of the color cords are in your printed program. So, for all of your accomplishments, graduates, we say congratulations, class of 2021. And now, really the moment in which you've all really been waiting for. Graduates, please stand. By the authority granted to Snow College under the laws of Utah and by the authority of the State Board of Higher Education, students who have completed 2 years of satisfactory college study are awarded the associate's degrees. These degrees are in the areas of arts, science, nursing, business, engineering, and applied science. In addition to the associate degrees, diplomas and certificates of completion are awarded to students who have completed these requirements. So candidates for degrees, diplomas, and certificates will be presented by Provost Melanie Jenkins. Provost Jenkins?
Before I do that, I just want the president to give a gift to our honor student, Kaylee O'Donnell.
Kaylee, join us. Thank you for your work and how well you represented Snow College. Thank you.
President Cook, on behalf of the faculty, I present the candidates for associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates. These candidates have completed all requirements for these awards, and their candidacy has been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees. I recommend that these degrees be awarded to them.
Candidates, you have fulfilled all of the requirements for the appropriate associate degree, diploma, or certificate of completion and have been recommended by our faculty and Snow College Board of Trustees for graduation. Therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in the Utah State Board of Higher Education and then delegated to me, I confer upon you the appropriate degree.
Graduates, if you'll please be seated, we will have you come forward row by row where we will recognize you individually. And Vice President Stacy McKiff will be helping me with this. Our honor student, Kaylee O'Donnell, summa cum laude.
Melissa Roundy.
Whitney Johnson.
Marissa Matthey.
Markel Gleave.
Roe Smith. Cum laude.
Madison Davis.
Carrie Torgerson, cum laude.
Leah Torgerson.
Alexis Kling.
Levi Joe Maxfield.
This is a mother and daughter combination here. Misty Jacobson.
And Jennifer Jacobson. Brianna Davis.
Bo White.
Clinton S. Frederick.
Wendy Lynn Graham.
Brianna Martinez.
Shaden Oldroyd.
Alexandria Arlene Owens.
Brooke L. Kagi.
Kelly A. Dunyan.
Elizabeth Rachel Stevens.
Annie Pace.
Madison Elise Hardman, cum laude.
Francis Pete Sim.
Kenyon Butler.
Travis E. Partridge.
AJ Iverson.
Carson Wright.
Stephen Larry Gale.
Justin Johns.
Brock T. Harwood. Harwood, sorry about that.
Neil Black.
Dylan J. Chamberlain.
Sydney L. Balch.
Kylie Egley.
Kylie Mae Hales.
Casey Jo Herrera.
Jessica Parker Gardner.
Kennedy Lee Carter.
Another mother-daughter, Brooklyn Bunker.
And Crystal L. Hall. Amanda Harkins.
Family affair, husband and wife, Carlene Nighty.
and Mark D. Nidley, cum laude. Ashlyn Van Dyke.
Penny Facey.
Tegan Sides.
Mackenzie Sudweeks, cum laude.
Ashley M. Talbot, cum laude.
Tyree King.
Lincoln E. Trapp.
Kimberly M. Christensen.
Trayton Daisy Robinson.
Ashley M. Brown.
Mikkel Nicole Holyoke.
Marnie Sorensen.
Bailey J. Rowley.
Ashley Nicole Mathis.
Cami B. Pusey.
Jessica Jeffrey.
Lindsay Barfus.
Kinley Bullard.
Braden D. Peterson.
Jay Price.
Taylor Lou Williams.
Brock Anderson.
Colby Hoover.
Ricky Turpin.
Bonnie Ardella Allred.
Jessica J. Eddy, cum laude.
Angelica Shavira.
Danelle Hansen.
I will now invite our student body officer, Melissa Roundy, to the microphone for brief remarks and the tassel changing ceremony.
Okay, as a symbol of our accomplishments, I will now have you join with me in changing the tassel from right to left.
Congratulations again, class of 2021. Thanks to Provost Jenkins and Vice President Stacy McKiff for their assistance in presenting our graduates' names. Now, graduates, you are on to the next phase of your life. So, what I want you to do now, though, because the accomplishments that you achieved today, you didn't probably do alone. So I'd like you to stand. I'd like you to face friends, family that are here supporting you, and just tip your hat, say thank you to them. So please rise, find that a people or a special person, and thank them. Thank you, graduates. This is really as much a celebration for them as it is you, because finally maybe you're going to move on out of the house, maybe get a job, something like that. Please have a seat. So, we are at the end of our ceremony, and following the ceremony, you are all invited to join us for an informal reception here in the arena behind the stage, or you are welcome to greet your graduates in the front lobby. So commencement is a campus-wide event. It takes so many people to be able to pull this off, and we want to thank everyone who has helped us with the preparations for today's ceremony. The Snow College music students will now play postlude music as the graduates and the platform party recess. We ask that the audience please remain seated as the graduates and the platform party exit. We thank you all for your participation today. Dr. Johnson.